Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to Prospects and Show 101. My name is Chris Robbins, and today I'm going to be doing a solo film session and breakdown of Duke Dawson, the cornerback from Florida. So, uh, obviously, personally, I really love my cornerbacks. It's personally one of my favorite positions to scout. And really, Duke Dawson stood out to me. I got to see him in the Michigan game, which we're actually going to watch first. When they played the Wolverines, being from Michigan. And he was one of those guys where I was watching uh, some film, and he really stood out throughout the course of that game. Flashy, but also looked very solid from what we could see. So I decided to check out his other two games here, LSU and Florida State, and we'll also watch those. And I really liked a lot of the things that I saw from him. So we'll get into a lot of the traits and individual stuff like that later. But first, let's go over a little bit of background here. He is a fourth-year senior. He is small. He is definitely small. If he does come in at 5'10 in Indy, it's definitely going to look like a nickel corner. Hopefully, he can be a little bit bigger so he can play outside. Maybe we see him grow an inch or two, hit that 6-foot mark, and really be an outside corner. But yeah, if he's listed at 5'10 officially in Indy, he's going to be more of a nickel guy. Which isn't really a knock. Their nickel position is very valuable. You can play safety, I suppose, if you're okay with coverage, uh, small coverage safeties rather. But still need to look out for is where he measures. As for his background here, he did technically start a game as a freshman. Like I mentioned with Michelle, if you want to count one game as a start, and why you can say a technical 4-year starter. Actually didn't start as a sophomore. That's interesting. Did start most of the year as a junior. Obviously started uh, every game as a senior. Then was a punter, grandfather, yada yada. His godbrother's actually a safety. Nick Collins, of course, with the Packers. So could play safety if you need him to. Not like a mega guy, of course, who's it's elite at both spots. You didn't really see him play safety, but if you do want to move him there, that's an option available to you. He did play in the Senior Bowl as well. Was, I would say, pretty decent there. Would like to see a little bit more from him individually. Of course, they're watching a lot of other guys, so uh, I would have to go back and review the Senior Bowl individually by itself to see how he did, but didn't really give up anything noteworthy or particular that really stood out. So, but first we're going to start off with, we're going to go, I believe, in order here. Week or game 4, and this was like some point in conference play. Okay, it's highlight play, whatever. What was this? This was, yes, week 10. So we are going in order here. We're going to start with Michigan. It's at the top of the screen. On Kakoa Crawford, I believe. And shoveling that inside leverage. Great job of staying in face with them, staying in the pocket. And top of the screen. I like him playing. Another thing too I really like about him is he does play an online man. And showing not overcommitting, being patient, giving the receiver inside leverage there. He's able to take the outside. Makes a great play on that football. I don't know why they got him for a penalty, if they did call it on him. Maybe we'll get a better look at it. Apparently they are calling in on him.
The
I just want to hear if it's on sound.
pass interference. Defense number 23.
Oh, so it's Duke Dawson. Okay, it's on 23. So yeah, we're going to see a great view here of Duke. He's going to take that outside leverage, right? Does a great job of staying in face with Coca-Cola the whole way through. In great position to make a play on this ball. Right? I don't even think 23 touched him. That was a really lame call. 23 didn't even touch Cocoa. What are they looking at? Maybe a little bit, like right there, but really? That must be one of the cheesiest calls in college football last year. And Dawson doesn't even touch him. He just extends his arm over to interrupt that passing lane. That's just a great play by the defensive backs. Okay, maybe he touches him. Oh, grabs the shirt a little bit. Okay, fine. But even then, that's Duke. That's the wrong guy. And that really didn't impact the pass at all. That was a really cheap call. Okay, nice job there. Now watch how he's going to follow him. Stay in phase very nicely. Forces a throw away, or at least a bad throw. Very nice coverage on number 13, who I believe was running back. Zone look here. It was on that outside zone. Looking at him. Okay, press position. Doesn't turn until late. Very nice. Gives up a little bit of room. Not too bad. Makes the yards after catch very nicely. Or at least puts himself in position to do so since that wasn't a catch. Again, great view here. I love his stance, right? A little bit of a hop there, alright. So he does take a false step. That's something that could be a concern at the next level. Here, you're just going to watch him right there. Right. Okay. Great job of keeping his eyes on highs, right? Starts opening up a little bit slowly, right? But it's a little bit too hard to the inside, which is why it goes up as much free space as he does here. It goes up 2 yards. However, he recovers nicely. Makes great contact. Nicely done. So a little bit of room to improve some technical aspects, for sure. Want to see a little bit more motor. You start to see it come on here as he realizes he has a chance to impact this play. I need great pursuit and closing speed. Nicely done. Back on the screen. One thing I will say is his hips aren't really too smooth. While he does open up very nicely, and he does really have nice hip flexibility, he doesn't really open them up very smoothly. It's not a nice rotation of the hips. It's more gradual and choppy. I do want to see him be a little bit more quick and agile with the hips. Instead of just turning a little bit, turning a little bit, turning a little bit, I want to see rotation of the hips. But I don't think that's too much of a concern. You just need a little bit of polish around the edges. I'll put it that way. Great job there, on the other hand, the back part of that reception of forcing that sideline and not allowing Krakoa to cut that back to the inside half of the field. Very well done on the finish. They actually have him listed at 5'11", so if he can get that extra inch, might be in that 6 foot range you want to see from the outside corner. Playing at the line again here. This time on Tariq. Doesn't open up too quickly that time. Very nicely done. Stays patient in his position. Or that was on DPJ rather, not Tariq, my fault. Nicely done. His zone look here. I don't like how he fails to disguise. That is one concern I have with him. I do want to see him disguise this zone a little bit better. You see here how he's open, almost in a bail technique right from the start. He does have that left foot a little bit too far forward for my liking. I wish he would be just straight and like these two guys here, trying to sell that zone. That's almost a dead giveaway to Spade if he sees Dawson. That's going to be a zone look. However, again, on that back half, he follows that zone very nicely, takes away that deep third, right there for the pick. And here you get to see some burst, some nice cut, some explosion, and you get to see his speed. So he definitely has the athletic traits that you're looking for. My biggest concern with Duke is obviously his size. Is he going to hit that 6 foot mark? And does he have the technical aspects and the technique I want to see from outside corners? Shadowing Krakoa here. Again, another thing I like to see with my cornerbacks, very unnoticed a lot of instances, but you're going to see him here. Communication with the linebackers, communicating between levels, between the secondary and the linebacking crew is very, very nice to see from a defense. So I like the fact that he can be that leader. Took on that senior leadership role for the Florida secondary this year with Tease Tabor and Quincy Wilson leaving last year. Definitely a very strong leader on that, and Jared Davis at the linebacker spot. And really played a key, crucial part in their communication this year. Now, another thing, too. Great job of recognizing this run. He really has nice intangibles. One of the reasons why I'm so high on him, right? So you're going to see him originally shadow Krakoa here on this route, but immediately, as soon as he sees this ball is being given to Chris at the line, you're going to undercut that and make this stopping the run the first priority. He's getting on that tackle. Very nice read there by Duke. Okay, showing Krakoa, and again, nice wrap tackling. Wish he would wrap and roll. I do want to see him bring him to the ground and not throw him to the ground. But let's watch this through the whole playthrough, right? He's way, way off here. He's actually in the bottom right corner of your screen, 10 yards off. Right, so very deep zone, probably quarters coverage, judging by how the other opposite corner played, right? But again, great job of recognizing that run play, reading it. You're going to see him use that here, right? And immediately attack Quran. Wraps him. Just want to see him wrap and roll. A little bit more tackling technique. He's just throwing it to the ground. Against a little bit more of a professional, well, not a little bit more, against a professional back, I don't expect to see that happen, where he just falls to the ground. A lot of these backs, like we've been looking at recently with Ronald Jones, Sony Michel, Darius Geis, will fight through that contact and stay on their feet. Not really a pro prospect there in Karan Hidden, so hopefully you get to see a little bit more of that evolve. Great play. Absolutely love what he did here. Now see, what you're going to see him do, right? Originally, he's on Kakoa here on the outside. He recognizes that that's a play fake, right? So he sees this route concept, right? He knows that this middle of the field is clearly being protected. Ideally, 80 or ideally 33 takes this. I believe that's Gentry, right? So what you want to see Duke do here is exactly what he's going to do. You want to see him come off here and treat this as this guy right here, 84. That's right there. Bam! He comes off with that very, very nicely to make this play. Now, ideally, he does do a little bit better job of taking a better angle on this, but his quickness to react there is still very, very nice, and it saves his team a first down. Very well done there by Duke Dawson coming off with that route. Great route concept recognition. Just sticks with them very, very nicely at the top of the screen. Stays in phase the whole way through. Just very, very patient there. Nice little press jam. Doesn't give up anything. Top of the screen. Beautiful. Love to see that play again, especially on third down. Love this, right? So I talked with Isaac Item a little bit about how he failed to break through pick plays. That was one thing I really did not like about him. And well, that's again a really picky criticism. It's really nice to see when cornerbacks can do that, right? And Duke Dawson is great at breaking through Robert's pick right here, right? So you're ideally, if you're Michigan, trying to see Kakoa pick off Dawson and free up, I believe that's Tariq Black on this interior here. However, he completely shuts him down. Great job of staying in phase, fighting through that screen, coming underneath it, forcing the over-the-top play to Kakoa, and as a result, it's incomplete. That is a huge win for Duke Dawson. Very nicely done. Another great job of not overcommitting here, right? Again, he's not overcommitting to that inside run. He's doing a great job of rigging that pitch to the outside, so he becomes the force player on this play, right? Now, what does he do? He completely takes out a blocker. Versus a nice athletic play from, I believe that's around 22. He frees this guy up for the one-on-one tackle. Of course, he misses, but again, really did a nice job of taking out that blocker. While he could take that next step and actually making the play himself, still made a positive impact on the play. And again, just that run support, man. If you're looking for a nickel corner, you want him to be good in run support and go with those screenplays, go with fighting through those picks. And that's exactly what Duke Dawson is going to bring to your team. Force player here. Is he going to be able to seal that edge? Nice pursuit angle here. Does a great job of cutting off Karan Higdon's rushing lane. Very nicely done. Wish again that he would probably force him a little bit tighter and not give up as much open space on the outside, but a really nice job of taking away that inside. Can be a pass rusher from that nickel spot. Wish he would get off that block a little bit quicker. though it is a way that he can be used. Great throw by Wilton Spate. I think that was his only catch of the year. So yeah, definitely again some positives you like to see. That run support, that intangible aspect of him is really why I like him and why he's one of my favorite prospects in this class. Um, and he can play both man and zone coverage. Doing a nice job of recognizing route concepts, things like that. Uh, and he does play at the line a lot. So really does well in all three coverages. Now again, from what we've seen there, he is a better nickel than outside corner. I will say that. However, nickel position is still very valuable in today's NFL. So move on to, I believe, week 6. We get the team versus LSU. Top of the screen. Okay, and again, does a great job of breaking off routes. I absolutely love how quick he is to recognize that the ball has been released. Does a great job of keeping his eyes on the quarterback and makes a nice tackle on Darius Geis. Very nicely done. Again, forces that outside. I want to see him make that tackle. So again, tackling could be a minor issue. What we're seeing here, I want to see him play number 19 here. Ideally, 11 takes the block, and right there, he's able to come back across and go for the tackle. It's just a little bit of a weak effort there. It could be cause for concern. Does a nice job of not getting taken out by the block. He just needs to get around it better. And here's what I wanted to see earlier. I talked a little bit about the rotation of the hips, more so than just opening and turning now. And you get to see a little bit more rotation here, right? He rotates them a little bit cleaner and a little bit more smoothly. Nice job. And forces the boundary, takes that inside leverage. Again, communicating coverages. Very nice. Especially in bunch set. And as a result, very clear who's on who. He's on the outside guy, he's on the middle guy, he's very clearly on 84. Staying in phase with him very nicely. I don't think we've caught him out of phase once yet. And again, you see it a little bit more so here. You want to see him be a little bit more smoother than the Michigan game as far as the rotation of the hips. And you're going to see this very, very nicely here. Watch, he's just going to stay patient, and then he's going to rotate his hips around. Very nicely done. And also, again, forces that boundary, really wins that inside leverage. Comes inside, becomes more of a nickel run stopper type. And beautiful, beautiful recognition. I really love where he's at from an intangible standpoint. Does a great job of recognizing route coverages, and seems to do really nice with his film work and recognizing plays. You're gonna see here now he recognizes that that's not a handoff and that that's a pass here immediately. As a result, he immediately takes this receiver. 84 forces a bad throw from Atling, I believe. Very nicely done. Now again, on another hand, one thing that he could work on from an intangible standpoint that I want to see more of is selling plays. You immediately know here that he's lined up in nickel and that he's not man coverage. So what is he going to be doing? Judging by the fact that he's all the way inside, He's most likely a run stopper, a force player, or a pass rusher. Okay, he did sell that nicely enough. He was in zone coverage, but again, he kind of gave that away here by not playing with his man. I want to see him be around the hash mark area here, so he's not completely giving away what he's doing. Now, what I love to see on that play, from the second half of that play, is his back pedal. And not something you see a lot from him on the outside, but watch his straight back pedal here, right? You see him start to get into it from his base position, and he's going to just straight back pedal very, very nicely while keeping his eyes on the quarterback. Very nicely done with his back pedal and footwork there. Definitely seems to thrive in zone coverage. Top of the screen, not afraid to get physical. Has a little bit of help from the safety to get off the block. Oh, he just got hurdled. So tackling is a cause for concern. Want to see him play a little bit more leverage game there, and stay a little bit straighter. But yeah, again, he's really forcing him to that inside. He has that outside leverage. He's going to force him in. Very nicely done there. Also, really low where he's keeping his eyes. He's keeping his eyes on the backfield. Very nicely done with that aspect. And finally, at the midpoint of this play, he's going to get off the block. It's just the finish of this play here. I want to see him play straight and not go low. I want to see him wrap and roll. And that's just poor tackling technique. So, really want to work with him on some areas of tackling. But again, just the first 2/3 of that play, very nicely done. Great job of getting off that block. And again, tackling technique. I want to see him wrap, not just throw guys to the ground. And you're going to see it here. Again, great recognition of the run. Great job of showing this block at the midway point. Just want to see him wrap, tackle, finish the play. Nicely done. Does a great job of staying in phase. And then you see him at the end there start to break off for the other man. Very nicely done. Patience, bam, rotates the hips out, explodes out of his rotation. Very nice play there by Duke. I don't know who missed it. He's calling somebody out, it looks like. Oh my goodness, that's just terrible. He's stuck between these two guys. So is that on Duke to come over? Because he was very clearly that whole play through an outside man taking the interior post. So I can really pin that on Duke. He recognizes it a little bit later than I'd like, but yeah, because very clearly here from the start of this play, he's going down the field with this guy. He should be on the wheel route, leaving the underneath flat open. So someone is not in the flat they're supposed to be. Either that or someone just missed a play. Or number 3 messed something up. Oh, number 3. Okay, so the opposite corner here. He never followed 83 all the way around, which left them with a number. So number 3 here should be on 83. Yep, there it is. Took me a little bit to find that. You guys found that before me. Great job. So yeah, Duke was on him. He was in the okay, and he was supposed to be on the guy in the backfield. So he was trying to overcompensate for the underneath. Gotcha. But yeah, okay. So going back to Duke specifically here, I want us to really see what he does well, and you're going to see it from this angle here. Now, watch. He does a great job of staying patient. Receiver takes inside leverage, right? So he's going to take that outside. bam, immediately bursts an explosion at the cornerback spot, uses that to stay in position, in phase rather, with the wide receiver the whole play through. Does a great job of seeing his back hip pocket and being in phase that whole entire play. Love that from him. A little bit of a hold. Great job of undercutting that route at the end and didn't get called. Oh, it is at the end. Alright, so we're going to see this here. Actually, for those of you guys who are really looking at technical aspects, a little bit more in depth than even I am here, I'll back this up just a touch more. I'm putting 25 speed for a play just so you guys can see this. But yeah, watch here, right? He has a base, footwork even apart. Wish you were a little bit lower. Nice shove there. False step. Ouch. However, recovers, gets out of that very nicely. Rotates the hips out. A little bit of a hold there on this particular play. Causing to be a little bit out of position. However, again, great job of staying in phase with him. And the finish of this play is very nice. It's going to undercut that route. So really more so an issue with the start of that play than the finish. Again, gets off of that block very nicely. I want to see him wrap tackle. However, that block shot was very nice. I really like him at nickel. Now again, realizes that the edge is right there, right? Now he's the only guy here that realizes that he has the ball. So right off the bat, you're great play recognition and reading that play, being patient, right? Now, what's he gonna do? This is the finish, right? Is he gonna finish, wrap and roll? Does so. Has a little bit of help, but he still makes that play. Nicely done. Communication. And again, takes the right person. I love that. Now, we talked about number 3 a couple plays ago, right? I failed to come over and how he didn't take anyone. It was just him in zone, him covering nothing, space. Whereas with him, right, they communicate very nicely. He takes 83. Actually, he takes 83 nicely. But what you're going to see here is he's going to get off the back there and rush the passer. He is going to be responsible for the flat, and Duke is going to take the deep receiver. As a result, very nicely done. Great juke move by Darius Geis. And he's going to get off the block and make the tackle. Nickel here. Nice footwork and bail tech. And again, very beautiful rotation of the hips. Watch at the midpoint of this play how he's going to rotate these hips open. So he is playing nice backwards movement, lateral movement again here. But what you're going to look for here is how he's very open here to the inside of this play. And immediately he's just going to, it was a little bit choppy because of where I paused it. Sorry about that. He's going to immediately open those hips to the outside and rotate very nicely to the outside in this play. Right? There. Rotation. Beautiful. Nicely done. Again, communication in the bunch set. And beautiful. Oh, he almost had that pick too. All about that communication aspect, right? So watch. Very clearly communicates. Okay, you're on him. You're on him. I got this guy, right? Now, he communicates, right? They flip. They switch this. He's still on that guy. but because they're switching this, right, they're going to switch their assignments. Do wish you were on him, but at this point the ball's released, so it's not a big issue. Now, because of that, he is very clearly has inside leverage on this inside route, and he has inside leverage on this behind the back throw. Makes the pass deflection, almost has a pick six. Great mental awareness by Dawson. I cannot say enough how aware he is of not only route concepts, but plays and positions on the field, character, and of course the just flat out communication aspect. You're really getting a mentally aware player if you draft Duke Dawson. You don't have to teach him anything about football. His IQ is 100%. The zone just does a great job of staying patient in his zone here. Right, you're going to see him right there. In fact, I'll show you back this up a little bit more. This patience is top notch, right? See him there. Patient, patient, patient. Shadows number 7. Gives number 7 up when he loses that zone. And then right there for the play. Watch this again. Shadows, shadows. And right here, he's going to start coming off. Passing number 7 on. Actually, wait. Oh, that's my fault. I was watching the wrong dude. Okay. They highlighted the wrong dude. We're actually watching this guy here. I believe. Yeah, they highlighted the wrong dude. Alright. So we're watching him here, right? He's going to take him. Okay. Cover the outside. So very nicely done, taking away that flat, forcing him to make the inside read. But he's right there. He doesn't overcommit to that flat. Puts himself in a great position, but he's patient. I love that. And again, they highlighted the wrong guy. You're actually watching him. Top of the screen. And beautiful job. Hopefully we get to see this from the other angle. But even then, you see it here, right? A little bit out of phase here at the very end of this play, but throughout the whole route, he was in phase. Recovers nicely to get back in phase with him, staying in his hip pocket beautifully, and as a result, gets the interception. But hopefully this shows this view. Ugh, for the whole play. But great job of just staying in his back hip pocket, undercutting that route, and reading the throw. Great ball tracking skills. We've seen him get 3 picks already, I believe. Really nice job of playing the ball in the air. Also turned his head. A lot of these young corners really struggle with turning their head, gets them caught committing penalties. And it hurts their ball checking skills. Yeah, Dawson. Well, yeah, I did do well with that. I will mention that too. But yeah, Dawson here on this particular play turns his head, reads the ball, finds it in the air. As a result, comes down with it. Very, very nice. Oh, they actually called that a catch. Okay. Still, good enough play for me. Got that trip set, trying to confuse that Florida defense, but very, very great communication there amongst those 3 outside corners. He's going to be responsible for that interior zone, he's going to be responsible for that exterior zone, and he's going to be responsible for that interior zone. As a result, that concept goes out, that concept goes in, that concept stays in the middle, works out perfectly. Bam. All 3 guys are accounted for. And at that point, it's about shadowing your person. stays on 7. And again, love that how he comes off that route. Love it. And then he goes for the strip at the end. Cherry on top. Stays with 7, stays with 7. Right? He sees him avoid that tackle. Bam! As soon as he gets forward. Explodes off that route and makes that play. And then at the very end goes for the strip on the quarterback. Round of applause for that hustle play. Again, as soon as he breaks free, bam! Just explodes off number 7 to go for that play. Love it. Love it. The intangible and mental aspects of this game are elite with this kid. He's going to be a fantastic nickel. And it's not that he can't play outside, it's just that he needs a little bit of technical refinement, and he needs that size. I want to see him be 6'4" if we line for him outside. And again, just does a great job of getting off that route and making that tackle to force him out of bounds. Absolutely love where he's at in that side of the game. His awareness of the play on the field is top notch. Now that's the first time I believe we've seen him out of phase for a large portion of the route. Really want to see him do better on this play at staying in phase. Right here, you're seeing him right there, a little bit behind, and then Chark just turns on into a second gear and creates a lot of separation. I really want to see him limit that separation and stay in phase on that play better, but that's the first time we've seen him have that issue, so it's not really much of a concern. Okay, stays with the block, gets inside, shuts the block. Nicely done. Here again, playing at the line. Follows number 7 across the formation. And bam, takes those inside gaps. And still has the motor to chase that down. Wish he were a little bit more active in actually going for the tackle. But nickel play here. Nice rotation with the hips. Great job of staying in phase throughout the beginning and middle portions of the route. Fantastic. Looks to be a force player here. We're going to do the opposite side. Nice shot by the Florida D to chase down guys behind the backfield. Rather in the backfield. Again, it's just nice play recognition, cuts that gap off. Again, he takes his gap, forces him into the opposite side. Love that. His intangible aspects, again, I can't talk about that enough with this kid. Just very high level. Awesome. Awesome stuff. So, let's do 2 games here. We've got 1 more left versus Florida State. Actually, no, I'll just keep it at 10 since that's where the place. And back to 9. Alright, so he's right there at the top of the screen on the flat. Unfortunately, this isn't loading. Oh man. Alright, there we go. I just had to write it up a little bit. Love the push he's getting. Oh, and he disengages from that block very nicely. Oh, I love how he disengages. And then he gets in on the tackle and forces him down like that. Again, patience. Love his patience. Doesn't overcommit to that route. You're going to see him here, right? Trust the guys behind him. He's going to stay right where he's at. And then bam, as soon as he finds his guy, I'm going to explode on that. Very, very nicely done. Oh, what a hit by 23. Communication, leadership role, playing nickel here. Okay, zone coverage takes away that flat. And then after taking away the flat, he's right there to make a play on the ball. He actually gets the pick. So what is that now? 3 picks, 4 picks we've seen? And it comes from that patience, right? He's not overcommitting to the flat. He knows the flat is his responsibility. He's still in a great position to make a play on it if he comes down. But he also realizes that there's 2 receivers right there. He starts to break down on the flat, but doesn't overcommit to it. Result, puts him right in position to make this pick. Patience. Love it. Love it. However, whoever number 18 is, chopping that ball 3 times, that's not a good look. Over the screen. Patient, patient. Takes the hips a little bit. Great job of staying in phase. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the deflection there. That's a nice jump ball, 50-50 catch by 18. But he does a great job of utilizing that left hand and playing that ball, being in phase. Nicely done. Now, the one issue I would have with that play is at the very end, he does use the left hand. So you want to see him kind of push that ball out a little bit more than he did. Instead of just trying to break that pass up, you'll see him here. He gets his hand up and in, right? However, he doesn't get his hand out after that. So I do want to see his hand get outside a little bit more in an effort to break that pass up. And again, just that patience, didn't overcommit to that deep threat. Takes the flat very nicely. Wish he would have stuck with him, but he was playing the quarterback in the scramble. Okay, backpedal. Great job of staying patient and stays in phase with him. Nicely done. Here again, very, very patient. Takes outside leverage. Again, takes the inside leverage this time. Great job of staying phase. Bad throw. Slide. Nice hip rotation. Great job of staying in phase all the way through the play. Nice coverage by Duke. Takes his deep third zone. Looks like a cover 3. Take his part. Alright. Probably 50-50 fade, I would assume, if not a run. I had to run it. Communication. Actually changed the coverage there. And it worked out. Great call by Dawson to change that coverage. Patience, patience. Gets off the block. A little bit more aggressive on the run play. Oh, he kind of got bit there. Alright, so double moves can be a concern. Did overcome it a little bit too hard on that play. Sold that outside route really well to the receiver, just coming back in underneath. Yeah, he still recovers nicely, opens his hips, rotates them very nicely. Occupies the blocker to free up the other guy. Nice play. Good play by Tim and Brian. Communication again. Oh man, that was a bit too far behind on the play. Nickel again. Great job at rigging the pick play. Nickel. Communication. I don't know what he's doing there though. He needs to get a little bit more downfield than that. Oh, nice hit. Alright, so what happened here? We're seeing him almost there, 4-3 will type spot. But the running back actually cuts this thing really, really short. I think he was expecting the running back to be a little bit further down the field before he made that inside cut. And it caught him a little bit off guard. Gave him a little bit too much space. But still, only 3 yards on the play, so definitely did his job well. So here. Nice play. Good job staying in position. Great job of selling that blitz. Actually, probably should have stayed there. Can you wrap and roll? Wrap him up, roll, wrap him up and roll, wrap him up and roll, wrap him up. There you go. A little bit better there. Great job at shutting that block. Oh, I love that. If that were a screen pass, he would have read that beautifully. Physical. Right there on the ball. Zone look. Took the running back. Great job to pass him along. Fortunately, he was a little bit behind. So you're going to see Duke just pass him along. And as a result, 55 beat, or he beat 33. Number 5 beat 33. There we go. Took the running back though. He did what he was supposed to do. 5 and disengage. Got there just a bit too late. Disengages very nicely. Probably could have been holding on 5. Okay, a little bit of a fade. Nope, got him on the inside post. Beat him. Touchdown. Disengages again nicely. Very good blusher. So yeah, there you guys have it. There's Duke Dawson. Again, there are 2 things that really stand out to me about him. First off, his intangible side, his mental awareness, his play recognition, his route concept identification, those types of things look very, very solid. He definitely does seem to be a great job of reviewing that game tape. As well as his block string, his run support. Does a great job of getting off of blocks. Has a little bit of room to improve in tackling. I will give him that much. Could definitely do a little bit more consistent job of repping and rolling instead of just throwing guys to the ground. However, again, that processes of play, those first 2 phases in run support are very, very good. My biggest concerns, and as well as the third thing I would throw in there too, as well as zone. I love him in zone coverage, especially if you're going to play him at nickel. Definitely has potential to be a very solid zone corner. Does a great job of recognizing plays coming off of balls, getting off of screens, things like that. The biggest negatives I would have to say, first off, are size. Don't like that 5'10". Also, want to see him be a little bit more technically sound in man coverage, especially if you're going to play him outside. However, again, those positives, you're getting a very, very strong nickel corner. So thanks again, guys, for joining Prospect Station 101. My name is Chris Robbins. Don't forget to check out our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this video, comment. Let us know your thoughts on Duke Dawson. Do you see him as an outside corner? Do you think he's got great potential at nickel? Maybe some possible fix for him. Do you want your team to get him? Things like that. So thanks again, guys, for stopping by. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace out.